My name is Joshua Perry, and I have a donor advised fund at the Baltimore Community Foundation. So my first house was right across the street from Pimlico, actually, in Park Heights. And then I moved to Edmondson Village. Baltimore is a city of neighborhoods, and people call it the biggest small town in the country. So it has a small feel, even though it has, everything a major city would have. I think it's always been a part of my ethos. I think my parents, even when I was very little, always found a way to help people out, even if it's coming out of the supermarket or anything like that. I think it's been a big part of the Black community in general. Especially early education is very important for me. I think I was blessed with being able to have a great early education, and so that I know how important that is, and as well as the arts and education and some of the housing initiatives. The way the BCF does it makes it easy for you to give individually or collectively, which allows some flexibility. So there's the actual practicality of being able to do the donations on a time scale where it makes sense, whether or not you come into, a big chunk of income at a certain time and you're trying to do some tax planning for that. That aspect of it is extremely helpful. But also there's some of the other, nuts and bolts aspects of, hey, there's charities or causes that I might not have heard of but I do think the city is important to me, that they are kind of a central location for that. Whenever I talk to my friends about it, at first they're like, this is just like donating to any other charity. And I'm trying to explain to them what exactly a donor advised fund is, the different ways you can be engaged with it, and how that works from a planning perspective, and how it's very flexible and individual for what you exactly want. You can name it whatever you want. You can have it be endowed, meaning, the money comes in and stays there and only a certain amount of it gets donated out every year. You can spend it all down that same year if you want. But there's also flexibility of, you go out to dinner, instead of splitting the bill, I can say, hey, instead of us splitting the bill, I'll just cover this, and why don't you guys just donate to my, fund? And, people like that, depending on their tax situation, they might get a tax break from it, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's way better than us trying to figure out this bill. Especially in this environment, especially for people my age, it's really important to be like, I really want my money to go somewhere that's going to be meaningful, that actually makes a difference. I think people underestimate the trajectory of the city. We've gotten some better press recently, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times. We've got a great food scene. The crime is down to historically low levels. We're tackling some of the vacant property situations. So the trajectory of it just positions it well to succeed in the future.